Distribution is changing, just like everything else is changing. If if you're doing it yourself, then you need to know, just like you need to know the process you're going to use to create your book, you need to know the process you're going to use to distribute your book. And if you're going through a publisher, just because you have a publisher doesn't mean you're going to have good distribution. So that's one of the things you need to know before you sign with a publisher, how they are going to get that book out there. I mean, because you wouldn't want to say, like, have you ever done a book? You wouldn't want to leave that question out. If you find out that they've done books, find out how happy those authors are with the books, find out what kind of distribution they're getting, because if you can do it better yourself, then there's a whole nother world out there, but you need to be willing to work like 24 hours a day to do that. One of the other problems with distribution is that the money comes much later when you go through a distributor. I mean, the money goes, the person buys it at the store, the distributor gets that money. Every about 6 months, they're probably cutting checks, but they're cutting checks that were given to them 6 months before, because it takes about 6 months for them to get it from the bookstore. So it's anywhere between a year and 18 months between when the person buys the book at the bookstore and when you get your check as an author. So that's something you really need to bear in mind. It's a big difference. I think it's Michelle Scott that said, I've been doing this for 20 years and working through Amazon. It's the first time I can pay all my bills on
Yep.
I'm pretty sure she was the one that said that. And the big difference is you're getting a check cut every month. It's going straight into your account. So that's something to bear in mind. And none of these things, everything is a trade-off. There is no one thing that says, okay, once I get this, then everything else falls into place. The thing that's good about having a publisher is also the thing that's bad about having a publisher. The thing that's good about doing it yourself has all kinds of things that are bad about doing it yourself. And doing digital versus doing physical books or ebooks and tree books, as you so quaintly put it, each of those has a good and a bad side to it. So, distribution is all about targeting your audience. For some people, a regional distributor is all they need. If you're doing a book called How to Bicycle the Santa Monica Mountains, do you really need it carried in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? No. You need it carried in Topanga Canyon and Santa Monica and Malibu and maybe LA and every traveler's bookstore in Montecito. You need to saturate a certain market that's very controlled. But if you're writing a romance novel, you want it available everywhere. When you want to get a bookstore signing, you can't go, here's my book, I wrote it, can I come in and sign at your store? Yeah. You have to come in and say, this is my book, and I want to come in on March da-da-da because it's the day of da-da-da, and I've got this press kit about how I'm going to implement that. I've got my mailing list of 1,500 people that are within this zip code, and this is how I'm going to target them, and here's the list of the people in the local media that are going to get my release. Here's the photo that's going to go. This is how we're going to get the groups out. This is the schools I'm going to target and why they're going to come, or the colleges, or the single parents group, or the Kiwanis, or whatever it is. This is how I'm going to get butts in the seats, because it's just like Hollywood. You can make the best movie in the world, you can't get butts in the seats, doesn't mean anything. You can't get people in the bookstore, and how you get a signing is by showing them how you're going to create an event that that the event culminates in your signing. Because the bookstores that will survive are because they are a multimedia, generational, multi-platform readings, events, and whatever. That's how they're going to survive. And you're going to become a part of their community by being an interesting speaker, performer, jack of all trades.